The Truth, episode 81. The Birds beat the Packers for the fourth straight time, and I'm so glad about it. Also, we got one of the finest, Philly Tribune, OJ Spivey in the building, man. Make sure you guys make some noise for him. But first, let's talk about this whole Eagle thing. Let's talk and see what our boy LaShawn McCoy have to say about it.
But what I seen tonight from the Philadelphia Eagles team, I don't know if this team can win another championship. The way they playing right now, I really don't. They struggling running the ball right now with Saquon. They've been struggling running the ball all year. A.J. Brown is still not out there to be found because he's not even throwing him the ball. Right? Smitty has emerged and became the number one wide receiver. That's crazy. But even if you watch all the Eagles games this year, they not playing good football.
We winning games, James.
You finding ways to win, but I just don't see.
Real quick. You know, last year we had the same argument.
Last year y'all was dominating, bro.
Come on, man.
Y'all were.
Come on, man.
It was different. It was different last year.
Hear my thing, though.
Y'all was dominating.
Earlier in the year, we wasn't dominating. We wasn't.
When y'all started rolling, y'all started 2-2.
We lost to the Falcons.
Y'all started 2-2.
Right, and everybody's like, oh my God, all that. Sirianni should he get fired? He had to cut his hair. Oh, you forgot.
No,
I'm not gonna let you forget.
But
though.
on that run, when Saquon was toting that rock, the air out of that rock, y'all was dominating people.
Let me ask you real quick. So it was easier last year. I mean, Saquon had holes big as freaking. All right, so it looked easier. Yeah, right. Anybody get holes, it's gonna be easy. And he's as good as he is. But now the holes are not there. No, they're not. And guess what's happening? We are still winning. Think about it though.
I just see a different team.
Look, I ain't mad at you.
What's going on, everybody, man? And welcome to the very first episode of The Truth, where not all Eagle fans agree on everything. And this is definitely the spot where this shit about to go down.
Gotta stay locked in Goggins. Gotta ball out like Robin. Straight to the top, I'm all in. Ordinary piece like a toxin. I don't wanna be like Robin. I just wanna lead, no watching. Fuck caution, I ain't gonna be common. I got the confidence, like I'm on the shit, like I'm the baddest bitch in the club. I'm here for dominance, I'm being honest, that's what I want. I'll never give up, I want the whole place sold out. My name in every mouth. You know I'm after this shit till the world say my motherfucking name. Say my name. Say my motherfucking name. Say my. You know I'm after this shit till the world say my motherfucking name. Say my name. Say my motherfucking name. Say my. You know I'm after this shit till the world say my motherfucking name.
Driven by fire, driven by fear, never get tired, no I'm still here. Fell to the cracks, now I'm shifting gears. 10 years into my moments here. Waiting my turn, now I'm hot in demand. Slept on a kid, but I had bigger plans. Stayed low key, but I still hit drive. Give me one shot and I'm coming alive. Next on the last, second taste it. Gunning for the top, no limitations. From the basement, no hesitation. Flipping on my L's with straight motivation. Ain't no quitter, I'm built for the grind. Pressure makes it.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 81 of The Truth. I am your host, BG31, my co-host, JC SportsTalk. How you doing today, my guy?
Yo, I'm good, man. Hey, look, big win last night, 7-2, and on to the next. That's all I gotta say.
And then we brought two special guests in today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, guys.
I'll let the man, the myth, and the legend. Let him go first on that.
The man, I'm just the man next to the man, right? I'm OJ Spivey. I'm a sports columnist with the Philadelphia Tribune, and I also cover the Eagles for the Tribune.
I'm Chris Franklin, NFL reporter, cover the Eagles, Giants, and Jets for NJ.com.
Nice. Hey, we just got some breaking news in, guys. I had a whole show planned, but we had some breaking news. Jair Alexander has just told the Eagles that he's going to retire and get his mental right and his physical right before he decides to come back to football, man. That's huge. Because I was expecting Jair to be our number 2 quarterback on this football team, and now I'm really sad about it. How you guys feel about that situation?
I mean, you give up picks, and we know how general managers love to treat those picks like they're they're their own children. Sometimes, they're real apart, even if they're day 3 picks. And for them, it must have been something. And it makes me wonder. This is all speculation. It makes me wonder when the Eagles looked again with their medical staff looked at it, because the Ravens obviously looked at it, the Packers obviously looked at it. When the Eagles looked at it, they may have said the same thing, like, "Hey, maybe it's not right. Maybe do this, or what have you." And if I'm in his position, I'm tough, because you were one of the top 3, 5 cornerbacks in the league at one point. And now you're like, yeah, we don't trust you to get on the field. So I understand him say it's away. Trust me, if I'm the Eagles, I'm a little upset. But and the right thing, you want to do right by the player at the same time, because you still want to set the precedent that you're a good organization, stuff like that. So it's a kind of a complex but a weird situation for them to be in.
Yeah, I think along the lines of what Chris said, but also another thing too is if we we can presume that it's injury related, but I also go back to it's bizarre now because we have 2 players now who they picked up who abruptly retired. You have Zadarius Smith early in the season, different reasons from what we understand, of course. And more power to these guys, because I guess they're doing what's best for them. But you kind of wonder, just as far as what this decision is with Alexander, a lot of will probably still come out with this. But one of my theories is that Eagles have a unique locker room. They're a unique organization. They do things probably as good or better than anyone else in the NFL. And I think the culture is also important also. So if we take injuries aside, I think about it is not easy to play, first of all, in Philadelphia. It's also not easy to play for the Eagles from the standpoint where they have high standards from the top on down. And if you can't live up to those standards also physically, mentally, and they have a strong locker room as well. So that's one of the things that I'm thinking about now that we've seen 2 players. And they could be totally unrelated to why they retired from what we know. But that's one of the things that I'm thinking about as this news has come about this evening.
I'm confused a little bit. Last week he was happy, healthy, and he couldn't wait, to play against his old team, revenge game, perfect. And then a scratch, right? Like a couple days before, he's not even traveling with the team. And now this comes out. So I don't know what happened from the beginning last week to a couple days before the game to today. Maybe he felt like, hey, this team is ready to compete at a high level that I can't perform in right now. Maybe, kudos to him. He took a step back because of unselfish, reasons. Hey, look, I got to get healthy first. Maybe he'll come back for the playoffs, right? So let's not, just close the door completely. It's still about at least a good 7 more weeks left in the season, 8 more weeks left. So who knows? Another 2 months from now, hey, he might come back and say, "Look, I'm healthier, I'm better. Hey, let's make this run." But I don't know what to say about this. Yes, you are right, OJ. Hey, this is a second player, that retired from the Philadelphia Eagles. I've never seen this before. Our leading sack guy retired out of nowhere. He was excited to be in Philly. He retired, and now this guy, Alexander, he's excited, him and AJ Brown joking around, he retires. But look, it is what it is, man. Philly has always been the next man up mentality. And hopefully with Jackson coming back, Bennett coming back, and Ringo, hey, we could get something going on the other side. But I don't know what to say about this. This is all breaking news to us. And we could just only guess why he just decided to do this now instead of, how he gave up, a 6th-round pick for him. So we'll see how that comes out,
And mental health, like he says right here, is really important. These are star athletes, you know what I'm saying? Like superstar athletes. Jair Alexander, like you said, a couple years back, best cornerback in the league.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he comes to the Super Bowl championship team thinking he's going to be easily slotted in as number 2, which is not number 1 where he usually is. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like when the Eagles told him to chill out, hey, learn the defense, get a little bit more healthier. You don't need to go to Green Bay right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll get you on the back end. It kind of took to him. These players got such egos to the point where I feel like that could be the reason why he's doing this right now. He's like, oh, you don't want me to play? Fine. I'm just going to sit back, relax, and I'm gonna get ready to play when I need to play, as opposed to helping you guys out right now and helping you guys on the Super Bowl run. Because I feel like I was shocked when they said that he wasn't going to the Green Bay. So I thought for sure he was going. And for sure he was our number 2 CB. And the way that, I think this game came out and the way that Adoree Jackson played, he played some good football this game. As much as we shit on Adoree Jackson, he had a good game last game. And I can't, poop on that, So he was just like, well, maybe there's not a spot for me on his team. So maybe I just need to get ready, and prep myself up to be a starter on somebody else's team. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, that's a shocker to me. I don't know why he did it. I don't understand it because I really wanted him to be our CB2 and maybe come in and solidify that like Darius Slay did. Come in, be that veteran, be the CB2, ball out, for a couple years, and then we move on from you. But it's just like we're not going to get the opportunity.
He's going to find himself in the same predicament soon too, because heading in, you're on 1-year deal. You got to make a decision soon. You need to have tape if you want to play next year, and you want to show that hey, that knee's right. Because then you'll be doing the whole tryout circuit, saying, "Hey, well, this," and we'll keep hearing, "Oh, well, if he decides to move on and doesn't play, oh, well, Jair visits the Commanders per se," and the next thing you know, you got to do that, and you don't hear almost like Asante Samuel Jr. had to do. And it's like, you hope he comes back sooner than later for his future career. If he decides he wants to come back, you hope he does come back and contribute something to show where he's at, especially in game night.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, JC.
No, I'm about to say, as far as him, BG was like, hey, he came here, hey, you'll be the number 2. I don't think he wanted to be the number 1 guy. I just think that he wanted a fresh start, opportunity, to probably play versus the Packers. Like, I think he was excited about that. And then once he became a scratch, man, he was like, damn, man, you know what I mean? Like, they might have just said, hey, I'm not, where I think I should be yet. So let me just take a step back, because I don't know why you would go out and trade for him. Have at least a week and a half to play in at least I'm trying to learn a defense as a cornerback. It's not hard to learn a new defense as a cornerback. I mean, like, it's only so many coverages that you can learn, right? So I didn't see the big deal. I just think that him being a scratch might have played maybe, his mind a little bit. I don't know. I could only speculate at this point.
How do you guys feel? Like, you guys are closer than we are, and in terms of like, you guys are in the locker room, you guys are asking questions, you guys are doing your thing. Like, how do you guys think, Jair Alexander's coming off with the situation?
Well, I think it's still hard to kind of gauge, what exactly is the case. Again, we can only speculate now. As you said, I do think more will come out eventually, if not tonight. But again, I just have questions as far as, this being so abrupt. And, is it the injury? Is it something that he expected and didn't happen. As far as going back to, hey, not making the trip to Green Bay for whatever reason, which is from what we know is the injury. So I think at this point it's just more questions than answers. But going back to Chris's original point, even if it's a 6th round pick, a low round pick, Howie Roseman does value those things, and for that transaction to happen, and now we're here again. I'm just saying, okay, what is really going on behind the scenes or with him? And it is concerning from another standpoint, because again, this is his 3rd stop in 2 years. So is it physical? Is it mental? Is it a little bit of both? To where we're at this point now. I mean, thankfully, I don't think they're in as dire need for CB2 as people think, because also for him to, let's just say, okay, maybe he did think that he was going to have a bigger role off the bat. That wouldn't have been realistic, because they still believe in Dory Jackson, even though a lot of fans don't. They still believe in Keely Ringo as a corner as well, and obviously they've given both those guys every opportunity. Well, with Jackson being hurt, they gave Ringo the opportunity, but these guys are still ahead in the depth chart, and it probably would have been, even though they did pick up Alexander, it probably would have been a high road for him to even overtake being the starter. Maybe filling in roles here and there, but for him to be a starter, especially this quickly, that just wasn't going to happen.
I haven't been down in the Eagles locker room as much as I used to in years past, and it sucks royally. But when you look at some of those guys and just get to talk to a lot of them, you get the sense of like it was previously mentioned. A lot of times you have this ego, not Eagles, but you kind of need it. Everybody has that ego to be in the NFL. You obviously wouldn't be, if you didn't have one, you wouldn't be where you are right now. So I look at that and I can see the disappointment. I really could. And even that, and even if you don't have them now, the one thing is you don't necessarily need them so much, because you need that. If you can get by with Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo if you get a certain pass rush that you have been getting in his last, as you saw last night against the Packers. So I think that's big as well too. And boy, I don't know. I don't think they can get that pick back, but we've seen so many times before, like a 6th round pick can move you up in the later rounds, like 5-6 spots. And remember a few years ago when Reek Willen was available, he was on the board and he's falling right to the Eagles. They're like, oh, Reek Willen might be an Eagle. Then we saw Seattle jumped up ahead of them because they had a pick and they had to take them. So that's huge when it comes to terms of draft asset management and stuff like that. Yeah, you can get by as long as that pass rush keeps doing well.
I know our boy Chris in the middle of the thing froze.
Oh, no, I'm good. I just stopped because I saw everybody else going away. I saw myself face. I was like, all right, what do I do? Move around and I go.
But yeah, like I said, like even Eagles aside, like that's probably the best for the Eagles because we already got AJ Brown. You know what I'm saying? That's a big ego right now that everybody talks about every week. Everybody wants to like chime in and say how they feel about that situation. And I feel like the AJ Brown thing is like, you look at this game he had 3 targets, 2 receptions, and it was nothing. So it's like, that's never going to go away, because this team's not built that way. We are built about winning football. We don't care if Saquon's the main guy. We don't care if AJ's the main guy. We don't care if DeVonta's the main guy. Even though I told everybody at the beginning of the season, DeVonta Smith, it's his time to shine. Like everybody's okay with DeVonta being 1B, but DeVonta. And everybody don't want to give DeVonta the credit of being that 1B because everybody's like, oh, DeVonta go against, the number 2 cornerback. So that's why he's so good. DeVonta won a Heisman. AJ never won no damn Heisman. You know what I'm saying? DeVonta's that guy, for real. And we slept on him after his rookie year, after he had the most, I think he was the most receiving yards for a rookie in Eagles history. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then we picked up AJ Brown. And I think it's his time to shine. And people gotta respect that. AJ gotta respect that. AJ's been 3 All Pros on the Philadelphia.
Why are you? I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. It's the play calling. It's the play calling, man. Hey, this had nothing to do. Hey, they're trying to make DeVonta Smith shine or this and that. It's the play calling.
So.
No way. I'll let you talk. I'll let you talk, BG. Like, you can't go from last year when we were a running team. Last year we was a running team, and he still got his targets. Kellen Moore was making sure that at least Jalen Hurts and everybody was eating. For some way, somehow, I don't see it happening this year. Like, we still focus on the running. I have to agree. Yes, we have some injuries on the offensive line, and then the running game is not, what it used to be. But to say, hey, is DeVonta Smith time to shine is crazy to me. Like, you have AJ Brown on your team, right? I mean, like DeVonta Smith, yes, I give him all the credit in the world. The past couple of years, he took a back seat to AJ Brown. I get it. But this is not the year to say, hey, DeVonta, go shine, and we're going to not focus on AJ. It's play calling that's not getting AJ Brown the ball. You can't even do sweeps with him, like quick screens with him, something. Give him something. I'm frustrated too last night. This dude was 2 targets, 2 catches for like 14 yards and nothing until the fourth quarter on the 4th and freaking 6th. Him and, Hurts came up with. Come on, man. That's play calling. So this has nothing to do with Smitty time to shine. This is KP. You know what I mean? He don't know how to get AJ Brown involved, in my opinion. But go ahead.
This is what AJ, and this is what Saquon had to say about that.
Yeah, I feel like people forget that he won the Heisman. Like, he's a pretty good football player, and I don't know why that's like forgotten. I know how hard it is to win the Heisman. But shout out to Smith. He comes up big for us every single time.
Okay.
He won the Heisman. He's the GOAT.
Sorry, that one won the Heisman.
Who? They won the Heisman?
That one won the Heisman. I'll just leave it at that.
How do you guys feel about it, though, for real? Y'all, I want y'all honest opinion. Go ahead, one at a time. I'm gonna let OJ because Chris is laughing too much. Goddammit.
Alrighty. I gotta stop laughing too. But anyway, I think JC said it's play calling. I think it's a combination of play calling and maybe more so design. Because I don't think they do the best. I don't think they've ever done the best to design great plays or great routes for AJ Brown. Now, that said, I mean, you look at the 2 guys, and that's not to take anything away from either receiver, but you look at DeVonta Smith, I think he's a much more crisp route runner. And I do think in certain times that does allow him to be open. And it seems to be more magnified this year or more visible this year for what they run. And I don't know if that's more so part of because Kevin Patullo is the offensive coordinator this year. But I think if they were more focused on design and creativity, and I think some of this comes from Nick Sirianni too, because one of my criticism, and I love Nick as a head coach. I think he's a great leader of men. And there's a reason why he's won a Super Bowl, and there's a reason why he's had an incredible record as a head coach. His attention to detail, all those things, because many of his players have echoed that sentiment. But the one knock that I have on Sirianni is that I've never seen him as a great offensive mind. So I wonder if it's Patullo or we go back to Kellen Moore, Shane Steichen, what have you. Where are these designs actually coming from? Is it coming from the offensive coordinator? Is it coming from Nick Sirianni, the rest of the offensive staff? Because, you look at some of the plays, you look back at some of the films, even when they do well, some of it is a bit mind-boggling, but I don't know if it's necessarily Patullo himself or if it's just the overall design or the offense. And, I think also, too, it seems not painfully obvious, but it seems quite obvious that defenses are playing them differently, or they seem to be more predictable as far as how the offense is being run, to where it doesn't look like AJ is getting open as much as he did in previous years. So I think it's a number of factors, but I would just start with design and see what can be done there.
Yes,
Chris?
And I agree with you guys. I think when you look at the way where I wonder if the hamstring, it took him a while because he was dealing that earlier in the season. I wonder if that had to do it. But for me, I look at other teams. When we think about the greatest show on turf, think about Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt. They were able to coexist and both be able to have productive years with that. You look at the Rams this season. You have Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. They're both able to produce at a high rate, and look where the Rams are this year as well too. So I look at this when we start to look at, okay, we know it's been done before we have productive. I mean, last year we saw they both were productive. Then there's the one variable that changed was the offensive coordinator. And when you have times where you run that jumbo package, which is very, very effective, it's helped out when it comes in terms of the run. Run a play action off of that. You can run. You have AJ on the field for that. Maybe you have another wide receiver. Run a play action. If you ran it, I forgot who said it. I apologize for not remember who initially put this out there. When you're in jumbo 13 times and you run every single time you run it, defenses are going to expect that, and they're just going to go closer, closer. Those safeties are going to inch up closer and closer, and then all of a sudden it's tough to run. What would be the best counter for that? Play action pass, take a shot deep. So I look at stuff like that. I look at the diversity of the routes and how you utilize them. Went early in the season when it was just stop routes and go routes with them. And if you have obvious passing downs where teams are going too deep, why not put them in motion? AJ in motion, try to get them singled up on a nickel back, or who knows, maybe let him do the routes he does best. He does in breaking routes, slants, digs, posts. Let him use that big body in the middle of the field and be able to utilize that. And you haven't seen that much success with it being the play call, because it all goes off that play action to center. They haven't really utilized. So I put a lot of this on Kevin Patullo and his design, and you hope he learns this. I expect the first couple of games of the season to be a little rough because he's new in the position, but now it's starting. It's alarm ringing for me.
You see, I agree with y'all, but BG is literally trying to divide these guys right now. Let me tell you what BG is doing.
I'm going to divide
He's
it.
trying to make Smitty replace AJ, right? Because he was like, hey, you see, he's a Heisman Trophy winner. We all know Smitty is a number one wide receiver. We're not saying that. What we're saying is you cannot tell me that AJ had took a step back because Smitty has emerged as this number one wide receiver. Like what? Let me see the stats here. So DeVonta Smith has 62 targets, 48 receptions. AJ Brown had 54 targets, 31 reception, 657 yards for Smitty, 408 for AJ. 3 touchdowns apiece. It just designs, man. The way, we all know that AJ Brown won 3 routes: slants, curl, and go. We watching this as fans, you be like, oh my God, yep, here go that curl, here go that slant. There's no creativity behind these routes at all. But Smitty, I think, run maybe because he run better routes, but he seems to be open a little bit more than AJ Brown because they are moving Smitty more around than AJ Brown. I'm not, I don't know what y'all see, but I'm seeing Miss Smitty is always in the middle, running through the middle, running from left to right, and AJ is only on one side. Really, it's like you know where he's going to be. It's like simple routes.
But you heard him talk about it in that broadcast. We haven't even seen the AJ slant the last couple of games. Remember the first couple games? We always seen the AJ slant, and that's what we're tired of seeing. We want to see better routes from AJ. We haven't even seen that yet. I feel like the Eagles are a high-class organization, right? And they're not going to let you try to punk us into doing what you want us to do type of situation. And that's what AJ's trying to do. He's trying to punk us to make him the featured receiver in this offense. And since Smitty's not that guy, you're starting to see Smitty reap the benefits of that. Because Smitty does break receivers down. You can watch highlights of Smitty breaking receivers down from day one. But at the end of the day, it's like, AJ, we know we got you. You are the number one receiver, but chill out. Back up. You know what I'm saying? Like, back up. We got to do offensive coordinator. Back up off of him for a second. Let him do his thing. But AJ don't want to do it. AJ too prideful.
I don't know what AJ want to do, BG.
AJ too prideful, man.
You talk to AJ
in his last interview with AJ was not happy in his last interview. And I keep saying this about AJ Brown interviews. He's not happy in these damn interviews. He is trying his hardest to be the nicest way possible, not get kicked off the goddamn team. He wants to say, I need the ball. I want the ball. And I told you this from the jump. AJ started in the beginning of the offseason when he said he wanted to be the best receiver in the football in NFL.
That's the Eagles' fault. They put a big old
be the best receiver in the NFL on a team like ours.
No. BG, like you're not all right, fellas. If you're AJ Brown, are you happy right now? Like, I mean, throughout the season so far. I mean, do you feel like that you're being used like the way you're supposed to be used, or even try to, you know what I mean, like even try to get him, you know, involved? Like if you AJ Brown, you know what I mean, ego, of course, is involved. Yo, the Eagles put a whole big old banner of him like he is the future guy, right? I mean, they literally told him he is without telling him by that freaking banner they put up there of him. So I'm asking y'all this question. If you AJ Brown, how would you react? I mean, we're 9 weeks into the season now. 9 weeks. Like, there is no, okay, well, the first 4 games is all about the field. It's 9 weeks, and we all see what AJ Brown is feeling. Like, he's not part of the team. Like, I mean, that's just me just watching him. But I'm not like, well, it just be a team guy, and this is not what the Eagles does.
DeVonta have so many yards. Without AJ Brown taking coverage, he said that in his last interview, which I do give him respect for saying, but the way he said it was very disrespectful. It's like, oh yeah, I pulled the safety, so DeVonta was over the top, and DeVonta scored the touchdown. That's what he said. Like, be happy about being a fucking teammate, man. Like, yes, you'd have been. But at the end of the day, be happy for your other teammates, man. That's how I feel about the situation. Like, DeVonta's eating off of what AJ is pulling. Like, DeVonta's eating because, yes, you do got to respect AJ Brown. And yes, you do got to put a safety over him. And yes, AJ is, after having 3, everybody thought that just because Saquon had 2,000 yards, that it was all about stopping Saquon. And I don't think the Eagle fans understand that AJ had 3 All-Pros in a row, too. You got to stop his ass, too. So if you stop at Saquon and you're stopping AJ, that leaves DeVonta open all the goddamn time, which we understood from the very beginning we wanted. So, I don't know. I feel like AJ needs to chill out and do his part. If you look at that run when that wasn't a run, it was a receiving screen pass to Saquon where he got it and did a little spin move. AJ was moving half-ass. If you look at that whole 4th down play, that give me the ball to Saquon to AJ, that was that give me shot to AJ. He was moving half-ass. Like, be the man you say you are. Why you train so hard if you're not going to give 120% every single down? Give 120. If AJ was blocking on that Saquon run, before Saquon got the ball, guess what? That's a touchdown.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what
Yeah,
play
one
is
of
that?
those-
He was blocking. He was
Right next to him before he decided to go ahead and go block the damn receiver. Like, come on now. Let's keep
Did you
it
watch the
play? Say AJ's not playing because he's not being utilized in these football games. He's not
You didn't
playing
watch
hard game.
There's no way. Hey, there's no way you watch that play. But go ahead, fellas. But I'm tired of hearing BG talk.
Go ahead, Chris.
I forgot where this conversation started. In terms of AJ, I think it's a couple things. One is, I think it's one of the things where he's looking at stuff like, remember how often we hear for years since Sirianni's been here, the Eagles offense goes to 3 players: AJ Brown, DeVonta Smith, Dallas Goedert. Well, the offense is going through 2 of them right now, but it's not going through him a lot. And I understand where he can be frustrated when, especially he is drawing that. It's almost like the Micah Parsons effect, because Micah Parsons on the field, Rashawn Gary's getting his sacks. When AJ Brown's on the field, you're seeing things open up and it changes the geometry of the coverage and everything else. It warps everything and it works in their favor. I just still think there are ways to get him involved. And when you check out, even if it's a quick screen or the RPO, like I know teams have caught on to it. It's not, you can't sustain your whole entire offense around it, but utilize the RPO and let him run inside, get that big body in front of the corner, the defensive back. And I think you can get and do it early enough so he still stays engaged, so you still utilize him as well too. Because then you have to force the defensive coordinator to account for him. If you keep seeing he's basically running cardio and not being looked at or not being plays not supposed to call for him, what have you, then that's when you start to you got the issues. And I still that quote, you're using me, but you're using me. I want to know. I wonder not so much to Jaelan if it was more towards the offense itself. And we've heard Jeffrey Lurie said it. We've heard Nick say it. We've heard AJ say it. He wants to be here. The thing I want to see is if this team has an early exit or it fizzles out and the offense is blamed for it, do they bring in somebody else that almost similar to what they did with Brian Johnson and they brought in Kellen Moore? Do they do the same thing in order to rectify everything, keep AJ here? Because trade AJ now, you saw what Tennessee did when they traded AJ Brown and they thought Traylon Burks was their guy. It's a crapshoot. You can't rely on that.
OJ.
Yeah, again, I think it goes back to design, what Chris said. And again, game by game, defenses are probably going to dictate what you do, but it's also how you adjust to that. Again, goes back to design, goes back to creativity. One thing I also want to say too, another thing Nick Sirianni mentioned at the beginning of the season, I'm sure this has been reiterated, the whole time that this crew has been here, AJ Brown, DeVonta Smith, and the only difference now is Saquon Barkley, his second year. But you look at these 2 guys have gotten 1,000 yards receiving back-to-back seasons. Last year was the only anomaly to where DeVonta was just short. And every player didn't play all 17 games either, so you factor that in. But going back to what Sirianni said at the beginning of the season, he says, okay, there's going to be games where you'll be the guy, where you'll have 6, 7, 8 catches, and then there's going to be another week where you might get 1 or 2 catches. And I'm sure that has been reminded, that has been reiterated, and the players have been reminded of that. But in essence, AJ is correct in some instances to where he should be more involved, but you also can't force it. And again, we're talking about all of this as they're 7-2. And I guess, if you're looking at it from a fan standpoint, you're worried about, okay, later in the season, is it always going to come back to bite us? And how Philly fans are, We always wait for the other shoe to drop, right? So, but I think again, it just the common denominator is the design. Going back to the offensive coordinator, and again, I think they just have to do overall, whether that's Patullo, whether that's Sirianni, the whole offensive staff. I just think overall they have to do a better job of getting ahead of the defense and not letting the defense dictate to them. And that seems to be more of the norm than not this year, as opposed to past years. And even like, I'll even say it's not even related to A.J. Brown, but last night we saw in the game that after the Hurts fumble, they seem to just pull back everything and just become conservative and become a little gun shy, right? And, I give Green Bay a lot of credit because obviously that was the best defense that they faced this year, pound for pound. But again, as aggressive as the Eagles are, or as they used to be, or as, potent as this offense can be, you want to see a little more even against great defenses. And, I think we'll see a lot next week with Detroit. The rumor, not the rumor, but the popular opinion is that their defense is terrible. It really isn't. If you look at their rankings, they're more so in the upper echelon of defense. They're hovering around the top 10 defense. They're giving up a lot of points, but as far as yards and points per game, they're neck and neck with the Eagles. So, that's going to be an interesting week. And I think they do have to be on their game offensively to beat Detroit because they're going to try to score points. But then again, the Eagles defense has vastly improved, just by Jaelan Phillips being on the field. So,
hey, and I'm definitely going to get into that Jaelan Phillips thing for sure.
All right, hold on, BG. Hold on, BG, because I don't want you to disrespect AJ. You know what I mean? Because you like to divide. Hey, you like to divide this team a lot. But I like divided. Hold on. Now this is the play. Hold on. Like this is the play from last night, right? Now we all seen this play a million times already, right? This is the play where you said that AJ, he wasn't blocking. He wasn't, if he was blocking, whatever. Here we go.
Oh, you got the receipts.
Look at him standing there. Oh, I need to block.
Whoa. Tell me if Barkley would get all the way down there because look, the play is dead, right? Boom, right there. Now, if he would have came and blocked who? And what in the back? Like, what are you talking about? He's running down the field, blocking for his teammate. Like he didn't just stop running. Like that right there, you can't do nothing with that. Right there is
when expect Barkley to do that spin move. That's another 20 wasn't trying to block. All right. If he was really down, he would have blocked before Barkley did the spin move.
He would have got a block in the back.
He waited to see if Barkley was going to get past that defender. And he's like,
he didn't even know that Barkley was about to get the ball. That was a broken play. Wasn't it right, fellas?
At the risk of jumping into this, jumping in the middle of this firefight going on right now, I will say if Brown did not block that, they may have not called that. Just given when it comes to play caller sheets, they have the plus 40 and all that stuff, 40. They may not have called that exact play the following one. So it may not have been a touchdown. They may have had to eke it out a little bit. So that one blocks, that was a block. And that was that because he's looking and then you saw
he blocked.
The play was not going to Barkley.
I wish I had him. Last year when Barkley first got here.
Hold on, let Chris talk because you just want to. Hold on, let me hear.
And everybody on the team
Chris talk, man.
Down the field without even Saquon having to do anything he did. Like you watched the same film that I just watched. He did not do
right now. Did you? He wasn't supposed to go
on that guy. If he was up the field doing his damn job like he's supposed to be doing, he would have already been blocked.
Hold on. You were talking rubbish. Like the play was not even designed to go to Barkley. You could see that Jalen Hurts was looking to the right, waiting. That was his safety valve. He threw
I'm
to
talking
Barkley.
about after Saquon caught the ball, my guy.
He couldn't do nothing.
Play the film again if you don't want to see it. Play the film again. He caught the ball. And
Yeah, you got to get you a telestrator.
I don't understand. No. I don't understand. Like,
damn, you spin moved them. Let me go block somebody.
Okay.
No, my God.
I'm about to play the. All right, look. All right, I'm about to show it again, right? But this time, tell me, all right? Hey, let's slow it down a little bit, right? Hold on. Boom, boom, safety valve. All right.
Okay.
There's nobody there.
AJ from this point on.
We cannot see on the far left right now. Right there. Tell me if AJ
right now.
Hold on, BG. I'm showing it. Let me show it. Right now, where is AJ going to block at? In the back? Where is he going to block him at? Go ahead. Talk.
I'm not talking about this first guy.
No. Oh, my God.
He should have been already looking up field for the next guy. If he knows Saquon who Saquon is, he going to make that guy miss.
So, is that not AJ blocking for him? No? Am I missing another? Was that not AJ running and blocking for him?
From a rule perspective, he can't go back because he's facing the line of scrimmage. He can't block anybody back because it'll be called a blindside block because he's facing back towards his own line of scrimmage, and that would be a 15-yard penalty.
So I don't understand what BG is looking at to me right now. Like, I don't understand where your mindset at.
Where he starts getting to the play.
It's like Mike Pereira right now.
Where is he blocking?
I am Mike Pereira, okay? Yeah.
BG, where? No.
Like that Saquon's about to make this guy toast.
Okay, right? Where is he supposed to block? Where's AJ supposed to block right now?
Look at AJ. Keep playing the play.
No. Where is he supposed to block though? Before I hit play, where is he supposed to block?
He might be turned up looking at the guy he's supposed to block.
No, you're not talking. Look, I'm convinced
the safety's not even over there yet.
Like,
because it's like
the safety's coming from all the way over.
Either Saquon gonna make the guy miss or the guy gonna tackle Saquon. Period.
Okay.
You know,
but AJ cannot block that guy.
What is nothing Val can do with that?
Play? Turn around and block somebody. If you go back to the first year Saquon last year, AJ didn't wait to block nobody. AJ was blocking everybody off the rip.
See? Hey, look, and y'all wonder why me and BG,
he has.
And that one might be fishing a little bit. That one might be fishing a little bit. But I'm gonna tell you, on the fourth down play, everybody say, "Oh, that was a dumbass play."
Here we go.
But
you everywhere right now. We are on one play. We're talking about this.
Well, there's two different plays. We can get to that one.
Y'all know football. Y'all know players are give 150%, and AJ's not giving 150% right now.
And this is what frustrates me with BG, right? He's always assuming that a player don't give up. It's not doing that. Look. I play football, right? I've been BG did play football. There's no way you could tell me that if AJ did not block, that probably was maybe a 15, 20-yard gain.
Same yardage. What are you talking about? He didn't gain that many yards after AJ blocked.
Let me say this.
2, 3, 4 yards, and he fucking got tackled. Like, what are you talking about?
Let me say this overall.
He had a 20-yard gain after AJ's block. AJ's block only gained like 3, 4 yards. What are you talking about? Like, it wasn't like a major block in the whole. His spin move was a major deal. That's what got the yardage. His spin move he put on the guy. I'm just saying, if AJ was already looking upfield, flatbacking somebody, he could have went to the house.
Absolutely not. But go ahead, OJ.
I'll say, well, I don't think we could convince BG at this point as you know how he feels because he has his mind made up. But I'll say this overall, and I've watched this as long as these two guys have been together. I don't even think AJ Brown and DeVonta Smith collectively get the credit they deserve as being blockers. And I go all the way back to Jerry Rice and John Taylor in San Francisco, and how they used to block for guys like Roger Craig, and later on, even Rice staying there and blocking for Ricky Waters. Whenever you have two wide receivers that can block at all, you're at an advantage as an offense. And again, not to try to persuade or convince, BG, Brown did what he was supposed to do. I mean, did you expect him to make a pancake block downfield? You do have to be a little careful. I mean, I don't know if you expected him to be Hines Ward on that play, but in fact, I think the reason why you have the blindside block is we can almost call that the Hines Ward rule, because he made a career out of that. I mean, he was literally knocking guys into oblivion with that block. So, but I mean, you had to be careful, and I think AJ Brown did what he had to do, and he did spring Barkley for more yards than what BG's giving him credit for. So
yes, thank you.
Okay, what do you think about the catch, the fourth down catch? You think he gave 110%?
Moving on, huh?
Exactly. That's what he does. He moved the ball when he's wrong.
I said that at the beginning. Like, this play wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? I felt like he could have did more.
Hey, we got about 10 more minutes with Chris, man. Hey, let's move on, BG. Let's move on. Come on. You don't waste too much time on this.
Let's go to the win, Chris. How do you feel about this win?
I think it was needed because they're in the middle of a very, very tough stretch now. And I thought they were going to win either one of these two. I didn't know if they were going to win two, just because the back-to-back, because not only do you have to play them back-to-back, you're playing the Lions on a short week. So the fact that they were able to beat Green Bay in Green Bay was very, very important also for the tiebreakers. Because every year it seems like, though, when it comes to who's going to be the one seed, it's going to be razor thin. Now you have tiebreakers. Since you have that, now you have tiebreakers over the Packers. You have tiebreakers over the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are probably going to win the South. We know that. And then also the Vikings. Yeah. And then you got the Bears coming up. I don't think they win the division. So you got a tiebreaker over one of these teams. If you get against the Lions, and you're almost rest assured if you do what you're supposed to do against the rest of this schedule, you'll be the one seed. And seeing all these guys getting banged up, you kind of need that bye week again. Yeah. So I think that is. I still think offense. We talked ad nauseam about the offense. How about defense? The way we've heard so much focus on them. You got so many stars in the defense now, and they're playing within themselves. The pass rush is the biggest difference. If you get that pass rush to being okay, all of a sudden you look like defense of the last year.
Absolutely.
Do you think this Jair Alexander thing is going to be effective on the defense? Like, I know we haven't seen him play with the Eagles, so you can't blame, he was so good with the Eagles, and it sucks that he's not here. But do you think that, like, basically saying, do you think Ringo and Adoree Jackson can do the job?
You can get by with those two. I think you can get by with those two because the main thing is if a quarterback only has 4 seconds to throw or less, you can't have those long pass plays or long developing routes running. So if you get 3-4 seconds to go through that, you can get by with it. Is it optimal? No, but at the very worst, we've seen Kuko on the outside and base personnel. You have Michael Carter now, so when Michael Carter gets active, you can put him in the slot, put Coop on the outside if you need to as well too. If you really start to see if, say, Adoree slips back up or his injury nags him, and then or if Keeley is not playing up to the level, a good level, you can still just make that for you. Basically, those trades and what they have right now gives them enough flexibility to do whatever happens in case whatever situation comes up.
Do you think it's DeJean's job on the outside to actually move him out there? Is that what the Eagles trying to do? They're trying to move DeJean to the outside. Because I'm down with it. I'm not, because I didn't think about DeJean. How you going to be called the best cornerback in the league? Like, people were literally calling him the best cornerback in the league out of the slot. Now you move him outside and he locks down people outside. Now you can call him the best cornerback. Like, I feel like that is his natural, growth spurt. You need to go from
outside. Money wise, his agent's going to want him to go outside because you get the bigger contract. So be outside of that one. But
you think he can handle it outside?
For me, it's like you don't have. And the thing is, you can go game by game depending on the matchups. You don't have to say you're starting out for a whole entire season. If you get like a team, if I'm looking at, say, the Commanders, I know it's by then they're trying. There's dumpsters that are blazed down there. What happened? But you look at the Commanders, and I'm like, you don't necessarily like. I think they were trying to run the ball a little bit more. Even though you got Cliff Kingsbury trying to throw the ball, I think their main things to run. Maybe you play more base and you see them on the outside. If you got a team like Detroit who can really spread them out, if you got Jameer, even if Jameer, this is a game I wouldn't be open to. I don't think they will do it, but I'd be open to maybe using Coop as a slot to spot him when he goes out in the pass routes or what have you. That's something you I'd look at as well too, because we know how much of an impact. So you don't necessarily need him on the outside. Put him in the slot, keep him to go around with Gibbs, and then you still have a Jackson. You have Ringo, what have you. So it can be matchup specific. You don't have to specifically say, you know what, he's the guy from here on out on the outside because he's that versatile. That you got a lot of pieces that are versatile. You need to be, even to be on this team and Fangio's scheme, you have to be versatile no matter what.
Yeah, I agree. And we've already seen, DeJean play some base. The past couple games. I don't think it was so much last night, from what I remember. But one thing you have to keep in mind, as far as the slot, even though it doesn't get the money, as Chris said, it's a very important position nowadays because it's as we're talking about design and creativity, right? So as creative as a lot of these offenses are. They like to move their receivers around. They like to move their best receiver in the slot. They like to, do a lot of motion and everything. And DeJean is great at covering those guys in the slot. And not only that, he's great on run plays as well. So, you just can't, if you move him to the outside permanently, you have to have an adequate replacement. And I know they got Michael Carter II. We have to see him on the field first of all, to even see if that's even a viable option. And again, everybody wants to throw out a Dory Jackson and throw out Keely Ringo and saying, okay, DeJean's your best overall corner other than Quinyon Mitchell. But again, it's not that simple. And again, you don't want to weaken one position. You don't want to weaken more than one position because of deficiencies at another. And again, I just go back to DeJean just being, again, so versatile on the slot, not only on pass plays, but also on the run plays. And, he makes a lot of plays in that position. So why would you even try to move him? And especially now, another thing that Chris mentioned, that you have your big guy in the pass rush now, Jaelan Phillips. You have Nolan Smith back. You have the bodies where you can get more of a pass rush now. So it would be even less of a need now to even do that.
Facts. I understand that. Facts. Because I think that, I love DeJean, but I don't know. I feel like that's his spot. Nickel is his spot. Remember Brandon Boykins, right? Remember Brandon Boykins with the Eagles? He was a great slot cornerback. But when he got the big money and went to Pittsburgh to be the outside corner, he couldn't do it. Some people are just great at what they do. And I think that's DeJean's spot. He's just a great slot cornerback. You don't need to move him to the outside. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to push him out there to push him out there because he's so good, because he does what he does so good. Some slot cornerbacks are just good slot cornerbacks. You can't push.
And even Vic said it too. Vic said it himself. He said his ideal situation would be to keep him in the slot. So,
or moving safety.
Well, he hasn't talked about that as much. I know he floated around saying that preseason and all, but they drafted Makuba, and they're gonna let him grow in that position unless he absolutely falls on his face. But we've also seen the Eagles, make not as good draft picks, and guys have fallen on their face. But that's going to be Makuba's job going forward.
How do you feel about
Cooper DeJean is, a good, overall player, because he's a what do you call it? Utility tool where you could put him all across the line, right? He
Swiss Army knife, yeah.
Yes, a Swiss Army knife, right? He could play the tight end. He could play your slot receiver. So if you move him to the outside, you literally crippling one of your best position where he could be used all over the field, right? So I definitely don't think he should move outside. It's kudos that he could play outside, but definitely if you move him outside, then I guarantee we'll be a worse defense than we are right now, because you lose so much value of him covering tight end, covering the slot, covering the running back. This upcoming game is going to be crucial, right? Who said it? OJ, right? Yo, Gibbs. That's what you got to focus on. I would not focus on nobody else, but Gibbs is going to make or break the Lions, because this dude, you could put him everywhere.
Even St. Brown, they like to put St. Brown in the spot sometimes,
exactly.
have him in motion and all. So you know, who's going to
pick up? Chris, man, let me know how big of an impact do you feel that Jaelan Phillips is for this defensive line?
I think it's big in terms of the fact that where you look at he's a finisher, and I think that's a lot of times because we all know that the hurries stat was made for Mike Mamula back in the day because he couldn't get the sacks at the time. So you have that. It was like, well, because the Ray Rose, well, he got close. Well, he got close, and all of a sudden, hurries pops up on the stat sheets, and we track it now. But what makes you to the next level of these guys are you have to be a finisher. You have to get these sacks and that. And we saw that he's an impact player. The way he's lean enough, he can get that quick jump out the edge. We haven't seen it as much. But remember when we saw Brandon Graham used to line up as defensive tackle? And what you can use that was the same thing with Jaelan Phillips. You can get so much. He just is a quick guy. So I love the way he sets up the offensive line, especially primarily the tackles. He'll go around. He beats you on the outside. That's 1-2. He's got that quick move. He's got a few tools, a few moves to use in his toolbox. I like where you can see that. So now that you have that, you get Phillips to go that way. And this worked well when they had Hassan. Not Hassan. Yeah, even Hassan Reddick when J. Brown Hargrave was here. We had that. Or say if you had when they thought Bryce Huff was here with when you have Jalen Carter, you get. We saw him line up on the left side, which was weird to see Nolan Smith line up on the right side again. But you put Jaelan Phillips on the left side. You put Carter at the right defensive tackle. Now you're putting the offensive line in a quandary. Do you slide the line over to block Jalen Carter? And it gives a quicker route for Phillips to go? Or do you slide over to Phillips to make sure he doesn't beat your edge? And all of a sudden now you might have Carter one-on-one against a guard. And I like that match too. So it puts you in a real tight spot if they go 5-man with that line. So, and you saw Mario Jomo the way he's doing it. So just having one player like Jaelan Phillips from the outside can do wonders for our team.
OJ, how you feel about it?
Yeah, Chris is right. I mean, again, we go back to Vic Fangio as far as the options is concerned. He loves option on his defense, and Jaelan Phillips really seems like the final piece on that defense. I mean, we can, be trivial about that acquisitions and now the departure of Alexander, bringing Carter in. Again, they can do a lot more and they can take a lot more chances, and to where, again, getting by with an Adoree Jackson, getting by with a Ringo, where it will not come into play as much. And something that Chris had mentioned, how that frees up Carter one-on-one. We saw that. We saw some of that last night as he was getting to Jordan Love on a couple of plays and forcing Jordan Love to throw the ball before he wanted to. So it's again, it's probably going to be no more crucial than what we see next week, because we know a quarterback like Jared Goff likes to get the ball out. He likes, quick passing, but he's also stationary. So if they can hold, if they can get that initial pass rush and make him uncomfortable, make him uncomfortable at any time, as like they did Jordan Love last night, that's going to make for another good defensive performance. So, and I also didn't realize how big Jaelan Phillips was. I mean, you see him on paper, you see his size and on paper and everything, but he's a huge dude, and to have that type of athletic ability, that type of quickness at that size, it's really impressive.
Hey, I know we gotta get you out of here, Chris. before you go, can you give me a score prediction or at least how you feeling about the game against Detroit?
Y'all may not like this one. As of right now, early prep, I'm leaning Detroit right now. I'm
Oh
leaning,
my
even though,
God, Kurt.
even though they're outside the dome. I just look at the way I worry about how they use Amon St. Brown. And I can see, and the thing that worries me the most is that we've seen, if I'm Dan Campbell, and it's not just Amon St. I'm running a big play, see if I get a play early. Then I'm running the post and having the wheel go right behind it and trying to get them singled up on the Kobe Dean. That's what, in my mind, has me really thinking like, now you're risking sitting Dean and using more Campbell, and it's I just see that matchup in that way too. I think and also it depends on the health of Lane Johnson. I know he came back to gut it out, and so I wonder if he's good to go. That might swing he might see later on this week. I may swing my opinion on what happens, but I think those two are key. And by the way, if I'm Lane Johnson, I'm going to Jaelan Phillips and going, yo, what do you need this week? Whatever you want to do. Make Penei Sewell look bad so I can finally win that All-Pro over him, because I still don't know how Penei Sewell got it over him last year. But yeah.
Damn, man. He's just straight said that the Eagles about to lose, my guy. Eagles are not losing. I'm going to this game, Chris. I don't want to be another Washington.
They're losing. They're losing.
2 years ago when I went to the Washington Commander game and we lost.
Yeah, BG's bad.
Another one of those.
Yeah,
I want to go to this game knowing that we are confident that we're going to win the football game. And Chris told me straight up that he thinks that Detroit's going to win.
I don't know what the line is. If it's anything less, if it's anything Detroit plus, I'm not it's a betting show. I'm not a betting man, but if it's anything plus 3.5, I like Detroit.
Yeah,
3.5 at least.
It's a bad matchup for Philly overall, I think, because of the gadget, of all the trickeries that the Lions does, especially with Gibbs, man. This is going to be one of the most explosive offense we face all season long, especially the running back position, because he could do so much. And if you think that Bucky Irvin made a Campbell look bad on the wheel route, imagine what Gibbs is about to do, to our linebackers. So our linebackers definitely going to have to play one of the best game there is, or Cooper DeJean. Somebody is going to have to step up. The best way to take that away to all the little fancy play is to get pressure up Jared Goff's face right up the middle and put your hands up. I love what I saw last night by Jalen Carter. They couldn't get to Love. Hands went up, just ball tipping everywhere. So that is one of the keys. But I am leaning towards Detroit a little bit.
What the hell's going on in the show? Oh no. Lord help me. Help me. I thought that was the truth. The truth is the Eagles are... Listen, OJ, help me out. I know you got me, my guy. I know you got me.
Well, I'll say this because I kind of got to hold off on my prediction for my column, but I will say that the Eagles will score more than 10 points, and I do think it'll be more of a high scoring game this week. And Detroit, they present a lot of problems. They present a lot of problems offensively. I'm not as big, even though their defense is ranked, nearer at the top 10. I'm not as worried about the Detroit defense as I am about the offense, because they can beat you in a lot of ways. And they have to be on their game. I mean, the Eagles defense was last night, but Green Bay is not an offensive juggernaut, especially with the injuries that they have and missing Kraft and all those things. And, it still happened to be a close game because the Eagles couldn't score. But the offense really has to show up this week, because Detroit is going to try to match them pound for pound, point for point. And I think Detroit kind of wants this too, because, a lot of people believe this was supposed to be the NFC Championship game last year, but Washington had other plans. So I really do think Detroit is going for that number 1 seed as well. So it's going to be a big game. and the Eagles it's a short week for the Eagles as well. So you're at a bit of a disadvantage, but they are coming home. So, we'll see. I mean, I'll give the Eagles the edge because they're at home. But they have to play their A game on Sunday if they're going to win. And, they've done a great job of, holding off most of these teams that are just coming for the neck. But I think Detroit's a different animal because of what they can do offensively. And I think the absolute key is how quick and how fast can they get the Goff, because they just can't let him sit back there and throw. They can't even just let him sit back and, get the ball out quick, because if he does, it's probably going to be a long day.
Top 6 to top 7. The Lions is the 6th offense, and the Lions is the 7th defense.
Yeah, I said it earlier today. That's what I remember.
I ain't hearing none of that. Yeah, they're gonna go slap the shit out of them. They're gonna recognize who the champs are, and we're gonna win this football game. Like, I'm not into all this stat stuff. Like, the Eagles are a better football team than the Lions. The Lions lose to teams the Eagles will lose to. Okay, and at the end of the day, Philadelphia Eagles are the team of the NFL, and we are definitely going to dominate this game, man. I don't want to hear none of that stuff right now. Like, you call me the Homer Eagle fan, you're right. I love the Philadelphia Eagles, and I do think that we're going to go destroy, especially something going to be there. We're going to go destroy the Lions. It's going to be amazing because, that defensive line looking good with Phillips, Nolan Smith back, Hunt looking great. Jalen Carter's looking good. Everybody's going to get better, better and better as the season goes on. And this offense, I'm not really worried about, because at the end of the day, no matter what, something always pops out. Whether it's Smitty, whether it's AJ, whether it's Saquon, one of them will pop off every single game of the season. So thank you, Chris, for joining us tonight, my guy. Any last words? What are you going to be up to? Are you going to be at the game? What's going on with you, my guy?
You'll like this. I'll be at Detroit. I'll be covering the Detroit locker room. Yeah, I'll be doing that. I kid you not. So thank you guys for it. Make sure, seriously, follow these guys. Also follow this guy, OJ, man. He knows what he's talking about. He's a good guy. Oh, shit.
Likewise.
All right, cool. I was like, come on, this doing WWE stuff like that. But yeah, thanks for having me on. It's always great talking football to you guys, and I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Always good to talk to you, man.
Okay, last words.
So, again, I think we have to. Everybody was so focused on the ineptitude of the offense last night, but not giving enough credit to the defense. You give up 7 points in any game. That's fantastic. In today's NFL, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, because overall, and like this Eagles team this year, last year, and they're really just coming into their own this year. But the NFL makes it so hard to play defense in this day and age. And what we're seeing, what Vic Fangio is doing overall with his defense, when he brought him in last year, my thought was, guys, that they just brought him in to restore order because 2023 was such a disaster. Right. But really, Fangio was their Moby Dick. He was supposed to be the defense coordinator in 2023, but then we saw, the whole thing with Jonathan Gannon and that whole fiasco as far as him, holding on to his job while he was interviewing with Arizona. But as we were just talking about Jaelan Phillips, man, I think he could be the X factor. And it's going to be interesting to see him against Sewell, as Chris mentioned earlier. If they could have any type of performance, I know they're not going to hold Detroit to 7 points because they're too good of an offense. But if they can just, again, make Jared Goff uncomfortable, they can pull out the game. But the offense, they have to get back to, okay, what do we do best? I think they've done a better job when they thought more so take what the defense gives them, but they have to be aggressive. They have to take their shots because what Detroit does as a defense, they're very aggressive, and you have to make them pay for their aggression, right? Yeah. And you know what Dan Campbell thinks? He's taking over the play calling now for his offense, apparently. And also, too, he's not going to punt. I mean, we saw Matt LaFleur take a lot of chances Monday night. Dan Campbell ain't going to punt. He's straight Madden when he coaches, right? So, he might as well not even have a punter on the roster, right? So, I guess, maybe by rule you have to have one to fill up the roster. But it's going to be an interesting game. I think it's going to be an exciting game. I mean, hey, I'm a Philly native, so when the Eagles win, it makes my job easier. So, right. But it's going to be exciting, and I really do think, with all due respect to Seattle, because they're a great defense too, I really believe that the winner of this game is probably going to end up securing home field advantage throughout the playoffs in the NFC.
Yeah, I mean, this game is big, but we winning last night was bigger than this upcoming game, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I think you're right, DC.
Yeah,
and
like back-to-back tough games like that versus the North. I mean, we had to win one of those. So, look, I'm not saying the Eagles is saying, "Hey, we beat the Packers." We could just come into this game and take Detroit lightly. No, that's not what I'm saying. But if the defense played like they did last night, 3 sacks, 3 fumbles, 2 recoveries, I mean, hey, we could beat anybody. And yes, OJ, Dan Campbell, hey, we already know. Don't let them get into 4th and short. A 4th and 1, they're going to go for a 4th and 3, depending what side of the field they're on. Hey, they might punt. Who knows? But definitely, this is going to be a challenge, the biggest challenge offensively we have faced so far, only because of all the little freaking movement that the Detroit Lions get you going. Hey, get you looking left, boom, the ball go right. With Jamison Williams, he's starting to, emerge as a threat now. With St. Brown, Laporta, Gibbs. Hey, don't forget Montgomery, right? I mean, hey, there are huh?
Yeah, Montgomery be running that rock too.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be a big offensive challenge. I'm telling you right now, you are right. The winner of this game right here, I believe, will go as far as will represent the NFC and the Super Bowl, because these are this is the game that everybody wanted to see last year, and we're about to see it in week 10. But we'll see what happens. We win this game, we are cruising to the number 1 seed. We are.
Facts, because we got tiebreakers, we got everything else with that.
Eagles win this game. They're already in great shape as far as tiebreakers is concerned. Yep. But if they win this game on Sunday night, I mean, like you said, I cruise. I don't want to say the word cruise, but they'll be in ridiculous
driver's seat.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, OJ, again for stopping by. Sharing your insight with us, man. Anything you got coming up or anything that you want to let the fans know about?
Well, you can always look forward to my weekend column with the Philly Tribune. Go right to phillytrib.com. Subscribe to the paper because it is Black media. We want to support Black media in this thing. I mean, it costs you less than a cup of coffee, right? So, right. But always look forward to my columns. I do culture stuff here and there, but primarily my focus is on the Eagles, some Sixers stuff too, as they ascend. But during the fall, my primary focus is on the Birds and being down in that press box every Sunday for the home game. So thank you for having me. Thank you for anybody who chooses to follow me tonight. I like to give a different perspective than most reporters, especially being, Black writer and everything. So I take a lot of pride in that. I take a lot of pride in representing Black media because there needs to be more of us covering the games, and that's why guys like Chris and myself, we try to do a good job just because of things like that.
Y'all do a great job. Don't say try to do anything. Y'all do a great job to you. And we are so blessed, especially as being Black, Eagles content creators. The world's not fair, but we definitely do what we do out here every single week, trying to cover our Birds just like everybody else. And you guys definitely are some of the best out there. So just keep doing what you're doing. Everything's gonna be great, man. You know what I'm saying? You got our support for sure.
Thanks, BG. Thanks, JC. I appreciate your time, and it's been fun. So
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate you guys.
Before we get out of here, let's do 3 hot takes and score prediction. I know you don't want to do one, but we're gonna do one. 3 hot takes and score prediction.
Oh, you want me to go? Okay. All right. So I'll give you a little nugget. All right. I'll say Eagles 28-24.
Ooh, okay.
That's a good
Hot takes. What's going to happen in this game that's going to make it that way?
High scoring. I'll say Detroit maybe goes up early, but Jaelan has a good game. I've been going on a limb and say Jaelan might have 300 yards in this game.
Woo! The power.
3 touchdowns.
That's over here getting called the fire department right here. That's hot.
I mean, we didn't even talk about Hurts. We could do a whole show on him. We know the bigger the game, the better he plays.
Yeah,
So
facts. That is true.
stakes is high. So I
At
expect
home,
some Hurts.
After a bad offensive performance against a good defense, hey, I think right now the Philadelphia Eagles could actually play loose in this game. Like, I really think that that this team could play loose, right? The defense is back, right? At least the pass rush is back. Yeah, I definitely see 5 sacks, maybe more.
Ooh.
We got to Love 3 times yesterday. And like, this defensive front is only going to get better playing at home. And we know that Jared Goff, once he start getting hit, like, he's a little gun shy, right? I mean, he's a little timid. So he's going to hold on to the ball a little bit more. Jalen Carter, he seemed like he's back from last night. So I definitely see at least 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, in this game for this Eagles defense, man. And I gotta wait and see with the score prediction though, BG, because I'm
really, JC, really.
If you wasn't gonna be there, I would pick the Eagles. But since you're gonna be there, the last time
Really, to be honest with you, I've been like 6 Eagle games and one time they lose. And that was a Washington Commander game. That was my first home game. That was shit facing me loss.
Yeah. But I mean, look, it's going to be a good game. I think, this team is going to come out and play a great game. AJ Brown, I definitely going to have a big game. I definitely see AJ Brown have a monster game. Actually, this is going to be his breakout game.
I'm gonna give you some hot takes since y'all so scared. Okay, hot take number 1: the Eagles defense was sacked Jared Goff 6 times. Facts.
Okay. I just said that.
As close as they were with, what the boy name was from Green Bay, whatever. Listen, they're going to get to him. They're going to get the Goff 6 times this game. It's going to be 6 sacks, 2 turnovers.
I just said that.
AJ Brown's going to have 120 yards off of 4 receptions.
What? AJ Brown what?
120 yards off 4 receptions. Smitty's going to have 120 yards off 4 receptions. Saquon's going to go for 120 yards, 20 carries. And it's going to be touchdowns for all those guys. We're going to score 5 touchdowns. We're going to blow out the Detroit Lions. It's going to be nice.
Hey, keep an eye out for that cornerback that you love so much from Alabama, Arnold. One of the worst.
He's been playing good. He's been playing good.
That's interference. This dude like to grab, he like to hold, he like to PI. So hey, don't be surprised if he get picked on a little bit.
I want him to get picked on because it's my team. Other teams, like I said, like Arnold been playing all right. He ain't been that great. He ain't been that bad. But AJ should do what he got to do against Arnold.
Yeah.
And we should definitely get this on. I'm saying the Eagles win 35-10. A Sunday night
35-10.
Sunday night massacre from the Philadelphia Eagles. We had our close game this week. Next week we go show what time it is. We're the Super Bowl champs. We're the defending champs. We are ones that everybody need to look up to, and they're gonna keep looking up to us because we are the best team in football and we are the deepest roster in football. So I don't care what anybody say about anything else. That's what's going to happen, and that is the truth.
Yeah, if it's up to BG, we'll be 18-0 every year. He's never picked the Eagles to lose. Never. Not one time.
I said there are going to be some close games.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
Hey, with all you guys, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and make sure you guys check us out every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. The Truth is going to be online. And we just found out a way to go on TikTok too with The Truth. So we're going to be on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. So make sure you guys follow us and show your love. Fly Eagles Fly, and we out.
Thanks, guys.
What's going on, everybody, man? And welcome to the very, 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 very